What's up, everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of the Raidcall Dota 2 League Season 2 matchup between Virtus.Pro and Liquid. Man, so many twos, so little time. But actually, there's a lot of time, because Dota is quite a long game. But anyway, we have a matchup between Virtus.Pro and Liquid. This is game number 2. If you have not seen game 1, I recommend to check out the video. I casted it just before this match. And yeah, looks like it's an AP remix, so we'll be getting right into the game ASAP, but I will pause it just to talk a little about the game 1 and the picks and the bans and all that jazz that you all love or don't love and you find incredibly boring. But no, it's actually really interesting. It can also set the game on how the game will go and all that jazz. And of course, as always, if you want a different version of this VOD, check out youtube.com/myegnet or twitch.tv/OneMoreGame TV2. Man, number 2, it is everywhere. For an alternative VOD casted by AC and probably Draskell. I'm not too sure who the other caster was. But yeah, this is game number 2. If you have not seen game 1, Virtus.Pro get off to an astounding, well, not really an astounding lead, but a pretty significant lead. Their Night Stalker was dying, the Phantom Monster was free farming. But Liquid had a really strong lineup that scaled super well into all stages of the game, as once they got the experience necessary, and they managed to really get some momentum rolling, and Virtus.Pro called GG, not even bothering to try to defend their Rex. Because Korok's Storm was getting out of control. And interestingly enough, Liquid go with Storm yet again, so maybe they feel like, okay, Storm is legit hero. And we already knew Storm was legit. We've seen players like Blitz, Korok really use it very well in the American scene. But we haven't really seen nearly as much European Storm, so maybe Virtus.Pro are a bit unacquainted with the matchup. Or maybe they feel like, okay, Storm, we can sort of find a way to deal with them. But really, in comparison to the last game, all they have is NA, who can mana burn. They don't have anything like a Night Stalker Silence. And one of the problems with VP's lineup last game is they really didn't have too much lockdown. And you can see in this lineup, they don't really have too much lockdown either. Meanwhile, Liquid, they have Brewmaster out, they have Storm Sphere pull, they have an Entangle here and there, they have Static Storm, as well as the Kinetic Field. So Liquid's teamfight is looking very scary, but one of the downfalls of Liquid's teamfight is that all the ultimates do take quite a while to build up. And if Advantage gets some free farm going, if he gets a split push going, there isn't anything in place like a Tinker who can really counter the split push like they had in the last game on Bulba. So I'm expecting, just judging from the bans, Tinker was banned in the second round. I'm guessing the first 3 picks were probably Undying, Gloom Druid, and Storm for Liquid. I mean, it was Darkseer, Bounty Hunter, and NA for Virtus.Pro. But yeah, those are just guesses from the picks. So again, Virtus.Pro struggling a bit, but did beat Liquid in a matchup in the Defense League earlier this week. And Liquid have not really been too powerful recently, or since they have sort of originated as a team, since Liquid decided to pick up these guys and really show their commitment to Dota 2. Not they weren't already committed to Dota 2, but really showing their commitment to the Dota 2 pro players. But hopefully Liquid can take down a very powerful team in the form of Virtus.Pro, who honestly I feel like is a bit underestimated. But we'll get right into the game. Enough blither blather. Blither blather is not even a word. Blathering. Chit chat. Something like that. I don't know where I come up with blither blather. I don't know where I come up with half the things I say. But it still just spews out of my mouth like a giant pool of fire if I was a fire-breathing dragon. I was going to say something a bit more nasty, like a vomit or something like that, but I think fire sounds a little bit more badass, because then I can pretend like I'm a dragon. But anyway, for Virtus.Pro, we're going to have NS playing the support Nyx. We're going to have Illidan, aka Airman, Master of the Air, playing Anti-Mage. Santa is going to be playing the Bounty Hunter. Looks like KSI, once again, having to step out. And looks like Jatum Medved is going to be playing the Keeper of the Light. And looks like Tammyweld is going to be playing the Darkseer. So, by all indications, this will be a mid-solo Darkseer. Tammyweld is the mid-solo player for Virtus.Pro. Meanwhile, on the side of Liquid, we have Fluff playing the Brewmaster support, not mid-solo. So, Fluff once again showing that any hero can be a support. He and Eternal Envy must be like best bros, because they just play anybody as a support pretty much. We're going to have Korok once again playing Storm Spirit, going to have TC playing the Lone Druid, Bulba playing the Undying, and IX Mike 88 playing the Disruptor. So, we'll see how this game goes. Again, Liquid do have a pretty good team fight. They have some mobility in Storm Spirit. and they overall seem to have a more versatile lineup. But VP, they have a lot of split pushing, a lot of turtling, and once the game goes super late, I think VP do have the game pretty much under control. Even Bounty Hunter, who doesn't really like to get too much farm, will get the farm up, and Darkseer with the wall, Anti-Mage with his ridiculous split push will just become too difficult to deal with, and it looks like VP gonna go with an offensive challenge with an Anti-Mage. We don't see this very often, if at all. Really, really unusual, but Keeper of the Light, very strong tri-lane hero. NA, also pretty strong, can mana burn, can get a nice 2 or 3 man impale if he sets up his positioning properly. And I think they know Fluff does want to get the pulse going because Panda or Brewmaster is a very experienced dependent hero who wants to have access to that level 6 ultimate ASAP. But we're going to see an offlane Undying. Bulba is going to have pretty much a field day. Going to get a lot of experience at levels. I do love seeing Undying get more levels. And we've been seeing Undying get more levels in farm in the past 2 games. Or at least in the last game. And we're going to see it again in this game. I think Undying is super good if he gets the requisite farm and levels. And not really as a primary support. And Santa gonna get decay spam, but should be okay. I mean, he does have the Shadow Walk to get him out of trouble, and it's very unlikely that Undying will pick up anything like a Sentry Ward or a Dust. But you can see Anti-Mage already having a bit of problems against this, with this aggressive challenge setup, getting a lot of denies. Unfortunately, because creeps are getting pulled, won't have all the last hits he can possibly get. But it's sort of a bit of a trade-off. I mean, Fluff won't be getting too much farm either. And Korok actually switched from mid lane to top lane, saying that, okay, Lone Druid doesn't really manage that well in a top lane situation. And Storm Spirit does pretty well against Darkseer, but Lone Druid does better because he's ranged and he has a bear, who is once again a Panda Bear. And we'll see if this Panda Bear can sexually harass this Darkseer out of the lane. No, just trying to spot out Darkseer's movement. So overall, pretty passive game. Which team will make the first move? Probably VP. They have a bit more damage outlaw and they have Darkseer Iron Shell, which will remain relevant for quite a bit of time as this game goes on. You know, Fluff wants to get a lot of experience. Disruptor, pretty experienced dependent support. And of course Storm wants to get a lot of experience as well. But Korok Storm has been tearing it up recently. And, you know, maybe when you're playing against teams like Turtle Masters with Blitz or Liquid with Storm, if they don't pick it up in the first phase, it should be a respect ban because those players just really play Storm at a very high level. But some other creep pulling going on the side of Virtus.Pro, going to deny a bit of experience. No, yeah, the neutral did deny a little bit of experience for IX Mike. Going to be a little bit sad, but IX Mike very used to having no experience in his pocket. And the question is, when Santa hits level 6, will he start ganking? And when Boba hits level 6, will he just teleport in and force an engagement up top? I feel like a lot of this game, or a lot of the early game is going to be centered around these 2 heroes, whether Bounty Hunter does get the track kills going, or if Bulba tries to set up some early game team fights with the high level of Tombstone and Decay, and pretty much will be an immortal up against a very low level tri-lane. But that's really the pace of the early game. I expect TC to just farm all day. Darkseer gonna do a bit of damage to TC. TC ventured a bit too close, and Bear does give up 100 gold if it does die, and Iron Shell over the course of its full duration, 90 damage times 20 seconds, 1800 damage. So the Bear really can't take too much Ion Shells, but nice macro by TC. Gonna avoid a lot of that damage, and you can see TC already farming pretty well, 20 CS. You know, Darkseer not having too bad of a time either. 26 CS because he is farming the little neutrals as well. And already has a bottle, not going for the Soul Ring just yet. Well, I expect him to pick up a Soul Ring. But usually if you pick up Bottle of Darkseer, you might want to go for Arcane Boots, and having early game Arcane Boots for Anti-Mage NA would be pretty useful. As Darkseer going to Surge, get a regen bot, going to be pretty happy with that. But these aggressive trialing being run by Virtus.Pro, not really, I don't think, accomplishing nearly as much as they hoped. But a nice Impale by NS, going to pick up some nice CS, and going to allow him to have access into the boots relatively soon. He does have a smoke, so TC going to have to be careful. Unfortunately, it looks like Illidan does miss that last hit. And Illidan, interestingly enough, went for the early game Tranquils to give him a little bit of regen rather than something more standard for the AM, like Power Treads. But anyway, bottom lane, Bola continuing to farm up. No TP scroll just yet. Went for the bottle, interestingly enough. I wonder if he's bottle crowing or if he's just going to try to camp this bottom rune. They do have a ward there. The Dire do have a ward there, but the Rain have a ward top. So Darkseer should be able to get in good enough position, as looks like Anti-Mage does pick up the first blood against IX Mike the Disruptor. I'm sure Impale, Illuminate had a lot to do with that. Meanwhile, Fluff on the retreat. Fluff very, very tanky as a support. Panda does have a lot of HE, and meanwhile, Illidan going to go back onto Korok, but saw the teleport in by IX Mike. And we're sort of seeing the downfall of the Liquid Tri-Lane. They really have no stuns. Like, they have Storm Spirit, Electric Vortex, but IX Mike can't really stun, Fluff can't really stun either. Meanwhile, Illuminate being set up by the Impale just does so much damage. So it looks like the Tri-Lane by Virtus.Pro already getting off to a pretty good start. Meanwhile, we're going to see a wraparound by Darkseer, but just going to run back, maybe trying to catch off the courier, but there's going to be rotation in. IX Mike going to take a lot of mana burn damage as he's going to cast Connect Field, but already in a lot of trouble, going to have to use a Blink, as Illidan not going to get too greedy. His Blink was on cooldown for a relatively long time, and, you know, better safe than sorry. Just going to harass IX Mike out of the lane, and that allows him to apply a bit more pressure on Korok, who is not yet level 5, so Korok going to be a bit far away from hitting that level 6. So overall, Virtus.Pro once again showing that they got it in the laning phase. What we saw in the last game, the mid game of Virtus.Pro was severely lacking, but in comparison to the last game, I think Virtus.Pro do have the better late game. And Liquid's heroes don't really scale as well as the Virtus.Pro heroes do. As it looks like there's going to be Initiation Santa coming in with the track, as it looks like the Iron Shell going to do a bunch of damage to TC. Santa is forced to retreat. Darkseer going to back off as well. Santa does have haste rune, so it doesn't really have to pop a surge. Going to try to bait out TC as long as possible. Darkseer rotating back in, but unfortunately nothing is going to come from that. And actually Fluff going to take a bit of damage, but not going to end up dying. Meanwhile, Balba going to continue his farm. Level 3 Tombstone, level 3 Decay. Decay mostly for the lane. And also in the early game, it does a lot of damage, especially to these low HP heroes that are in the Tri-Lane. As Korok going to take a lot of damage from the Mana Void and the Mana Burn. We see NA doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Here comes a blanket by Illidan, going to immediately finish off Korok. Meanwhile, Lightning Storm going to be casted onto NS, but again, IX Mike. I feel like Disruptor really not the best Tri-Lane support. He just needs a little bit too much experience. But he's a very good mid-game support. Glimpse so powerful, Static Storm so very powerful, as well as we're going to see Fluff with the disconnect. So we're going to see the pause being outputted by Liquid. But one thing that is going right for Liquid is that Bulba is already has Arcane Boots, level 3 of Tombstone. And if he get level 4 Tombstone early on, it's pretty much going to be immortal at this stage in the game. For at least until maybe the 15-minute mark, because you really don't want to stand around Anti-Mage too low in terms of HP, especially with Decay stacks. Keep it light, Illuminate does not affect the zombies, and it really does not want to venture up close and personal next to that Tombstone. And Bounty Hunter really can't kill the Tombstone by himself. So Bulba, getting so much experience early on, going to have a really, really strong game. But a lot of pressure is going to go on Bulba to really help solidify the mid-game of Liquid, because so far they are looking a bit outclassed in the early stages of the game. But again, Liquid's strength does come from their really strong team fight. As you can look at the early game gold graph, there looks like it's pretty even in terms of gold. I guess Rain are getting a bit out-farmed. Experience graph, again, pretty much even, as Bulba getting a bit more farm on the bottom lane. So overall, this game is pretty even, but Storm Spirit really not having too good of a time. But again, Storm Spirit, all he needs is 1 or 2 kills, and then he can really start snowballing out of control. As the goes are called by both sides, both teams trying to get back into action. Meanwhile, I have not seen any entangles onto Tamal just yet. Very unfortunate for TC. But at least TC hasn't died. He died quite a bit in game number 1 because he was under a lot of pressure. But now he's constantly being worried by the track. Meanwhile, there's going to be a gank trying to kill off Fluff. The Illuminate does whiff, but it might allow Anti-Mage to pick up the kill. No, Santa gets a kill. And it's a track kill, and there's a lot of people on the bottom lane. Nobody can really rotate to save that. So that might lead into a tower for Virtus.Pro very early on. Going to be very significant, going to give him a lot of map control. Allow Bounty Hunter and NA, the ganking brothers, the Invisibros, as I affectionately, or just sort of, not really so affectionately because they're super annoying to deal with personally, but they will get a lot of gold to really start their ganking spree. And there's going to be rotation by Bulba. It looks like Liquid do want to defend this Bulba. Really, again, the Tombstone will essentially be immortal. It's going to be level 4. Going to initiate onto Bulba. And again, they can't really even bother to try to kill the Tombstone. They're just forced to back off. That Tombstone 60-second cooldown, so it's going to be out of the picture for quite a bit. Bulba manning up. Fluff is going to rotate in. Here comes Santa. Mana Burn going to be popped on Bulba as well. But Fluff is going to cast a Thunderclap. Going to hit Santa on just the tip. And meanwhile, nice rotation by Liquid. Going to push down the top tower in exchange for saving their bottom tower. Well worth it, but the Tombstone going to be down very, very soon in about 2 seconds. And considering this, keep a light on the opposition. Those 2 seconds, or those 30 seconds without the Tombstone could be quite significant. But now it looks like Virtus.Pro actually going to back the heck out of there. But Santa already getting 1 track kill, so that's going to be a bit of extra gold into the pockets of Virtus.Pro. And looks like the top tower was successfully defended. Again, Storm and Disruptor can't really push down towers super easily by themselves. Meanwhile, the question is, what will TC go for? He went for pretty solid Midas timing. Just got the Midas. Usually 8-minute Midas or 9-minute Midas is pretty good if you're under a bit of pressure, and TC's definitely been under quite a bit of pressure. And that's going to really help fuel his experience growth, and also give him maybe an extra chance of 1 or 2 entangles. But I don't know, Despair might be kind of mad because, you know, pandas are endangered. It's illegal to kill pandas in China or something like that. Some weird controversy, or not really controversy, just like, is this skin actually going to be implemented into China because there's a law against video game violence against panda bears or something like that. No sexual harassment pandas. As glimpses backward onto Santa, as there's the dust of appearance, and he is going to die. I wonder why Santa just waited so long. As Kenny Escape did get the track down, Korok not even level 6. Santa might just get away, did pop the magic wand. We'll have Shadow Walk cooling down very, very soon, and we'll be able to escape, so a bit of a waste of 90 gold right there. I was wondering why Santa didn't just try to windwalk earlier so he could escape the glimpse, but yeah, as you can see, Disruptor rolling in the money at the moment. And I don't think anybody else was in the range to cast the dust. Only Fluff had the dust. Meanwhile, Bulba gonna duke it out against Illidan. Mano y mano, and then Bulba is gonna be like, this isn't a true man fight. You have a Darkseer on your side, that's not fair. But gonna cast Tombstone again. We'll see if Lorraine ain't gonna farm the zombies, give a decent amount of experience in gold. But the Raid might have other worries on their mind because the top tower is gonna die. There's gonna be teleport top by Darkseer, but it might be too late. Looks like Santa mistimes denied by just a bit. But here comes the vacuum, nicely placed by Tame My Wild. Here comes Gloominate as well, gonna try to shoot down Fluff. Fluff almost level 6. If you can get 1 more creep, we'll have that level 6, but unfortunately running the wrong direction as Anti-Mage does kill Bulba on the bottom lane. In the meanwhile, Fluff does end up dying, and Ix Mike gonna have to back that guy out of there, gonna get tracked. And here comes a rotation by Santa, gonna get the Shuriken toss and a track kill. Korok gonna be the next one to try to escape. But meanwhile, TC just saying, gonna play one-man Dota. Tired of trying to help my team. Towers. A lot less scary when I have a giant panda bear trying to hit him down. But I wonder how Bulba died on the bottom lane. I guess there was a gank. Well, obviously there's a gank. I'm guessing NA with the Anti-Mage managed to kill off Bulba with the mana drain, so Bulba can really drop a Tombstone. And keep in mind, Arcane Boots does have a mana cost of 25. And we are getting mana burned and mana drained and all that, mana braked. It's really just not that good. As Korok gonna reveal the fact that he did smoke up. So Virtus.Pro again having a very solid early game, and unlike in the last game, they do have a very powerful late game as well, as looks like Illidan getting very close to his Battle Fairy, and once he can get that, he's gonna start firing very, very powerfully. But the one bright spot for Liquid is that they do have 2 towers to their name, and TC's getting quite farmed as well. If Korok is not getting farmed, it's gonna be a glimpse backward, as Santa is going to get sent back in time to the land before time. That's when you really know you're a 90s kid. Shouts, 90s kids, yay, 90s kids! Oh man. That always seems like the most ridiculous thing. That's why I sort of say it in a very, very condescending voice. But 1 kill being picked up by Liquid as well as the tower, and looks like Virtus.Pro gonna group up and buy items. That is cute. But meanwhile, Liquid know that they're getting outclassed in Ganking War, but in terms of the team fight, they're gonna use Brewmasters pretty much as a Tide Hunter. They're just gonna run forward saying, come at us, bros. It's gonna be initiation by Korok onto the Darkseer. If they can kill Darkseer, there goes a lot of the damage out of the picture already. But Vacuum gonna be casted. Ix like immediately dies. Here comes the Bulba dropping the Tombstone. Can he cast the ultimate? Gonna get decay off Bulba, so hard to kill. Will die with one more auto attack, but no popping the ball. Bulba so strong. Can he cast one more decay? Steals a bit more HP. Illidan focusing so much time onto Bulba, but ultimately does pick up the kill. Very, very important in terms of that team fight. With the zombie apocalypse has started coming in, as looks like TC does get entangled off onto Santa. Santa dies. So overall, it looks like it was a 2-for-1 engagement in favor of Liquid. Meanwhile, TC gonna get stun placed. TC is gonna die as well unless he can escape. TC super tank. Gonna get another entangle onto Medved. Managed to pick up the kill if he gets one more entangle. Oh man, another entangle. Oh, but it looks like TC gonna ultimately end up dying. Man, if he got one more entangle after that, I think Illidan would have died and Virtus.Pro probably would have all just rage quitted. But overall, that engagement did favor Liquid 3-2, but Anti-Mage didn't die, which is very troubling because he's gonna have his Battle Fury. And now that means he can start the split push going to sort of counteract some of the pushes that Liquid were doing by themselves. And again, Liquid not really the most mobile lineup outside of Storm Spirit, who's not really having the best game. We'll see if, I'm imagining Korok will go for that Bloodstone build. Gonna pick up the point booster now. But now you can see Illidan starting to get his farm going with that Battle Fury. And I wonder how many track kills. Looks like a decent number of track kills were picked up because Santa pretty close to his drums with only 31 CS. And you can see despite how many towers? 3 towers being taken by Rain compared to 2 towers by the Die. Rain do have a slight gold advantage, mostly due to that track. And you can see experience advantage definitely in favor of the Rain because of their 6 skill advantage. And getting a decent number of mid-game kills as well, which is definitely something they were lacking in the last game. And again, Anti-Mage could start firing pretty much out of control as Korok just melts in the blink of an eye. Man, NA super good against Storm. As maybe this was the counter pick they had in mind to deal with Korok in comparison to the last game. They have NA and they have the mana break by Anti-Mage. Looks like TC gonna get tracked up. Probably can't initiate onto TC. What is TC gonna go for? As he is banking up a decent amount of gold. I don't imagine only NA will pretty much pick up Blink Dagger. So I'm wondering if Maelstrom might be the better build here. But, oh man, speaking of NA, he's gonna get sucked right back to the spot where he was. Nice glimpse being placed by Ix Mike, killing off NS. But meanwhile, the split push by Illidan gonna go on again. Fluff forced to rotate. Fluff almost level 9, doing not too badly as this game goes on. But yeah, Radiance by TC. I guess, you know, the Rain's burn damage considering that VP not... Well, they do have a mecha up on the Darkseer, but VP not really the tankiest lineup, so the Rain's burn damage will be quite significant in comparison to something like a Maelstrom. And I guess TC saying like, whatever, I'm already getting the entangles, I don't need additional attack speed to try to get more entangles. It might be a bit of a jinx. But yeah, usually you don't see Radiance on Bear these days unless there's a Blink Dagger in play. But TC is farming really well, and usually Lone Druids don't farm really well because they're under so much pressure. And TC under a decent amount of pressure as well, but managed to pick up 4 kills and picked up relatively early Midas, so this Radiance is going to be picked up very, very early on for the Lone Druid. So that might be a reason why he went for the Radiance as well, but here come the Invisibros, going to track up Korok. Korok not yet revealing what item he wants to go for. Might just go for the BKB, as this is going to be a glimpse back onto NS. What level is glimpse? I imagine level 3 so far, and it's only going to get more and more annoying to deal with. A lower cooldown, a higher range. And looks like Illidan gonna go for the all-out farming build and split pushing build. Gonna pick up the Vlads, not only to give him some more damage and give his creeps a bit more damage. As will this tower gonna... It does get killed off by Illidan. Drunken Haze was not used by Fluff to try to force a deny. But a Primal Split is gonna be used because they saw the rotation of the Darkseer. Again, Primal Split, very long cooldown at level 1. It's gonna be out of the picture for quite a bit, but if they can kill a Darkseer and maybe one other hero, definitely worth it. But Darkseer trying to escape out of there, gonna get Boulder tossed in the ground. Static Storm, Korok gonna fly in from a mile away, does pick up the kill with the help of Ix Mike. So at the very least they got 1 kill with the ultimate, even if they couldn't save the tower. And TC's continuing to farm up, so I guess this is Liquid's plan, just sort of fight with 4, allow TC to farm, but again, that's sort of, oh man, Illidan just gonna play like an absolute boss. Just gonna blink in onto Korok saying, oh, you have no mana. He's gonna Mana Void off Korok. He's gonna pick up a kill. Is unstoppable already. 18 minutes in the game. As the Roshan says, "What's up, guys? I'm still here." As IX Mike gonna glimpse off Anti-Mage back on top of the cliff, saying that's where you belong. You know, Illidan gonna go back as NS is gonna initiate onto Bulba. Bulba in a bit of trouble, being on TC, hoping for an entangle, hoping and praying for an entangle. As looks like the bear doing a lot of damage. Illidan being entangled for quite a bit of time. Bulba trying to go onto the retreat. I imagine Tombstone is on cooldown. No, it is up. Oh, Bulba trying to get in the proper position to really utilize that Tombstone. And the engagement ends once again. I think overall it did favor Virtus.Pro. They got a tower, even though that happened pretty much like 2 minutes ago. And Anti-Mage killed Korok.
Top tower is under attack.
And this is night and day compared to Korok's last performance, just under so much pressure, having so much of his mana burn. And I think that's why he's not really picking up anything like a point booster. I think he's going to go straight up BKB, old school Storm Sphere build, where it allows him to at least roam free and without any worries about being mana voided, or yeah, mana voided, or mana burned, or mana breaked, or mana anything, or even mana leak. There's so many anti-storm mechanisms in place. Mana is a scarce resource. At the very least, there's a couple of arcane boots up on Liquid, but still. But checking out the gold graph once again, Virtus.Pro once again have a healthy gold lead. About 4.5k healthy experience lead as well, playing pretty solidly. Anti-Mage starting to get his farm going. Gonna go for the Manta style next. And the question is, when Anti-Mage caps out, will he just sell the Vlads and hopefully his support will pick it up? But still, that's very far away as Anti-Mage picks up an Illusion Rune, which is just gonna burn IX Mike's mana away. Super annoying to deal with. But TC has had that range for a bit of time. As Liquid, they want to push in. They know Bear, when he has range, is at his most powerful, because everybody else is pretty low in terms of HP, but they're going to try to secure an easy Roshan. But the split push is coming on the top lane. Well, not really split push right down here, just last hitting. But the split push is happening on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, NA trying to get in position. Nice central ward being placed by IX Mike. Unfortunately, the glimpse not too far, but he does manage to disrupt the Impale as here comes Korok going to try to ball out of there. Does ball out of there successfully. Mechanism is popped by Virtus.Pro by the Darkseer. As here comes the offensive Anti-Mage. Does kill off Korok, the Storm Spirit once again, but Darkseer is, or Bounty Hunter is claimed by Team Liquid. Anti-Mage has been Drunken Days, has to get the heck out of there. Meanwhile, the zombies are in pursuit. But overall, it is going to be a 1-for-1 engagement. But another victory for Virtus.Pro, killing off Korok once again in exchange for a Bounty Hunter. I think it was probably worth it if Bounty Hunter did get a track kill from that, or track gold from that. And they delayed the Roshan attempt, as NS diving in super ballsy, trying to kill off somebody, but here comes the Primal Split. NS is going to die super fast. Here comes a vacuum and the wall. Bulba's being sent up, or sent back, but Anti-Mage is being sent up in the air for a long duration. That's a lot of attack time where Bulba or Illidan is not playing any sort of role, and that Primal Split by Fluff, perfect time to really just disrupt Virtus.Pro, and that might pick them up. An Anti-Mage kill, getting off a huge streak. No, nice blink out. Anti-Mage blink timer pretty long, but a glimpse backward by IX Mike 88. No, Anti-Mage, keep in mind, glimpse has a 4-second travel duration, and Anti-Mage able to blink the back. But still, good victory by Liquid, able to claim the Roshan, and also get Korok back in the game, as Storm Spirit has an Aegis, has an Ultimate Orb. Looks like he's gonna go for Linken's. I would have preferred BKB, but against Mana Burn, well, that can just be tracked off or Mana Leaked off. So I think BKB might have been a better item for Korok, but Linken's does give him a bit more mana regen, and by a bit, I mean a lot more mana regen. Or it could be for a Hex. And an early Hex, considering Anti-Mage not close to finishing his BKB, not even trying to work on it, trying to pick up that Manta instead. Could be very, very useful. As I think Liquid are trying to get a sense from Virtus.Pro. They know Virtus.Pro like to play super aggressive. Initiation onto Korok. He's going to lose his Aegis super fast. One entangle will mean the death of Anti-Mage, but no, Airman able to escape, teleport out of there. And man, Korok just constantly being hunted by either the Bounty Hunter or the Nyx Assassin, being assassinated or getting his bounty claimed time and time again. But at the very least, he didn't give up gold. He didn't die. It was just an Aegis. And you can see that Roshan and that successful team fight definitely helping out Liquid. Again, Liquid do have the superior team fight at this stage in the game, considering nobody is really anywhere close to picking up BKB. Bounty Hunter making his way towards it, but Bounty Hunter BKB, honestly, what can he really do? And Brewmaster Ultimate will be up in about 40 seconds, so that might be the cue for Liquid to try to push in. And again, Brewmaster, as his ultimate does level up, the cooldown does get shorter, so it can use it more and more frequently, and it can have a longer and more powerful duration. Of course, one of the downfalls of the Brewmaster Ultimate is as the game goes on, you can just sort of kill the Brewmaster spirits. But that's not going to happen for quite a while, because VP just too damn squishy. As we can take a look at GPM, Anti-Mage not surpassing TC just yet. Really not able to find too much room to farm up, whereas TC does have that minus, so can sort of get a bit more gold anywhere. As there might be a giant team fight about to happen now, where it's slowly in favor of Anti-Mage, but really nothing too significant. But Anti-Mage does ultimately farm faster than the Lone Druid, and that might be why Lone Druid did go for that Reigns to help him split push and sort of counteract Anti-Mage's split push. As is there a gem, or is that just a sentry ward? I didn't see it. Didn't see a sentry ward. Does Bulba have a gem? Bulba does have a gem. So that is really going to put a thorn in the side of both NA and Bounty Hunter, and place just a lot of pressure for the Virtus.Pro supports, because they're just not going to have too much vision whatsoever. And Anti-Mage, considering he doesn't have a BKB, does want to have that vision up as much as possible. And you can see what Liquid are doing. They're just going to push in. They have Brewmaster Ultimate up. They're just going to say, screw it, we're going in. Balls to the wall. Balls deep. Let's do this, guys. Checking out the levels, I expect suffering a bit, but Disruptor has hit at least that level 7, so he has that level 4 of Glimpse. Wants to at least get a couple more points to Connect Field so that Static Storm and the Connect Field damage can really be maximized. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Light recalling out Santa. Keeper of the Light really struggling. Meanwhile, Fluff is just going to initiate from up on the cliff, but that is the cue for Virtus.Pro to get the heck out of there. But here comes Croc, the gem, again spotting out Santa. Santa is immediately going to pop. Meanwhile, a beautiful vacuum wall illuminate combination, but unfortunately the wall does not connect, a little bit misplaced. Meanwhile, the bear is going to run around trying to do whatever it can, but unfortunately, Aaron looks like Illidan does pick up a kill onto Croc, and Bulba might be the next one to fall, but Illidan's taking so much damage, blink out by Illidan. And that's going to be a 2-for-1 engagement. Man, if that wall just managed to connect, that might have just sealed the death of Liquid in that team fight. But as it is, Virtus.Pro were able to defend their tower at the price of 2 invisible heroes, but they managed to kill off Korok, and they forced out the Brewmaster Ultimate, which they won't have to worry about for the next 110 seconds or so. And meanwhile, Illidan just going to continue to split push it up. And now, I think he's going to start working his way to either it's a BKB or a heart. Meanwhile, Bulba, not able to get too much farming room, very far away from his mecha, as looks like Bulba's getting kited around, and Rain destroying another tower. As Fluff is going to take a bunch of damage, no mana void up just yet, and Anti-Mage knows it's time for him to get the heck out of there. You know, TC working his way towards the AC could be very good in terms of pushing down the tower. That minus armor towards the tower, as well as that increased damage by the bear, will be super significant, as looks like Korok once again dies. Man, Korok just getting hunted down, and this is why we sort of don't see storms here, because there are a lot of mechanisms in place to really keep him down. But here comes the bear, glimpse back, we're going to seal the fate of Darkseer Kinetic Field. Darkseer is going to die, vacuum illuminate combination. Darkseer does die as my mouse spazzes the heck out of there. But did force at least a Static Storm. But don't have to deal with the Darkseer for 50 seconds, definitely worth it. But here comes Illidan pushing all the way on the top lane, and really preventing Liquid from really getting too much momentum to push in for that middle tier 2. So definitely a victory for VP, or for Liquid, in killing off the Darkseer, considering Korok is really having no impact. And it looks like Korok picked up the ultimate and now going back into BKB. Very odd build, as maybe just wanted the stats, maybe thought about going Linken's, but just realized Linken's isn't going to work. I need BKB. But Golden Experience again, starting to spell very, very high towards Virtus.Pro. And keep in mind, Virtus.Pro scales much better than Liquid. Liquid really have to make use of Panda Ultimate while they're still very, very powerful. But the problem is Panda Ultimate is such a long cooldown. And already starting to see the relevance of Undying starting to fade out as the Spirit Bear does end up dying 100 gold into the pockets of the Anti-Mage. As here comes reinforcement by Alex Mike. Here comes the Entangle, might seal the death of Airman as he is gonna die, ending a godlike streak, giving TC so much money, allowing him to finish the AC. What a kill being secured by Liquid, as I mean, Illidan's over-aggressive nature definitely cost him there, as it's going to be Blink up by Fluff, gonna catch out Jata Medved. There's going to be teleport BKB out by Santa. Are they going to turn their attention to NS? Keep in mind, oh no, Vendetta's still on cooldown. NS is going to get spiraled up into the air. And where is Boa for that gem true sight? It might not even matter. Vendetta's still such a long cooldown. Here comes Korok, gonna ball lightning back in. Can NS actually escape? So it's going to be a 1-for-0 exchange. But still, that gold, or that kill is securing TC the AC and stopping Illidan's reign of terror on the side lanes of Team Liquid. Definitely going to help them pick up this tier 2 tower and might pick them up a Santa kill as BKB Santa teleported back and then decide to walk out in front trying to scout it out. But Santa does have to know, I mean, VP has to know that there is a gem up on Liquid. Bulba's had it for a good 4 or 5 minutes, maybe even a bit longer. And Bulba's finally fished the mecha. So Liquid really starting to get their mid-game rolling, but is it a little too late? Well, not yet. It's not too late until AM picks up the BKB. But AM's gonna have that BKB and 600 gold. The question is, will he go for it, or will he just save up for buyback? As because of the relentless split pushing by Anti-Mage, Liquid are actually down by 1 tower, even if they are up in terms of kills. But Korok, how close is he to his BKB? Still miles away, and the middle tier 2 tower is given up without a fight. Anti-Mage going for Eagle Song, gonna go for Butterfly, and that's gonna give Liquid even more time to remain relevant, because AM no BKB means that he will be sent up into the air time and time again by that Brewmaster Ultimate in team fights. So I really dislike this choice by Illidan. Maybe he anticipates he's gonna just have so much farm that he can just just farm faster with the Butterfly, but still, in my opinion, you want to mitigate that Brewmaster Ultimate ASAP. But having that evasion against the Spirit Bear going to be super useful. As NS, can he get the Vendetta? Does get the Vendetta off onto Fluff. Is there a Mana Burn in place? Mana Break going to be casted. Fluff does end up dying. No Anti-Mage Cyclone, but it doesn't matter because he's trapped in a Static Storm. And where can he escape? He does manage to blink out of there, but it looks like Santa might just pay for it with his life. No, IX Mike saying Glimpse OP. Gonna send him back from miles away. And that is another long duration where they're out without Illidan. He does have buyback at the very least, but Roshan is going to respond. Will Illidan buy back? Otherwise TC will reclaim a very easy Aegis. And that is another factor that I forgot to mention. Not only the Brewmaster Ultimate, but also Static Storm. So useful in terms of locking down AM. And checking out the goal graph, still slight favor in terms of rating, but look at the experience graph. And that definitely tells the tale, as it is becoming much more even. And the Dire very much in this game. I think it would be wise for Illidan to skip the Butterfly for now. Just finish up that BKB ASAP. But the question, well, he has a magic stick that he can sell for the item slot. But Korok gonna claim the Aegis. Still far away from his own BKB. Korok just really having not a good game. But it's okay. Fluff, IX Mike, TC, Bulba are all playing super well. It's not like Korok's playing bad. He's just, the lineup is designed to counter Storm. Meanwhile, Santa working his way towards the Yasha. Already used 2 charges up on that BKB. And I think this middle, or this bomb tier 2 tower will be claimed without a fight by Virtus.Pro. Probably the wisest decision they can make. Now they're even in terms of tower count, and AM's given a bit more time to farm up. No, looks like he wasn't even farming up. as I feel like Virtus.Pro are pretty much just only relying on Illidan at this point. Because Darkseer is just being so limited by that Static Storm. Darkseer does have a Hex, which could lock down TC for a good amount of time. Or maybe they can try to burst down Fluff or IXY before they can get their ultimate out. That might be what Virtus.Pro is planning to do. But again, that gem just hurting so many avenues of initiation does give Liquid pretty much all the momentum in terms of initiation. Because Fluff has a dagger, and really NS and Bounty Hunter can't really charge in and try to insta-kill a target on Liquid because of that gem by Bulba, which he's had for a good amount of time. And will there be a base race? As in this scenario, you definitely have to favor the team with the Lone Druid, but actually the creep wave is slightly in favor of the Radiant. So Liquid are going to have to defend this. Are they actually going to do a base trade? No, they're going to teleport back. They're going to back off, teleport to safety, try to save their base. The question is, will Virtus.Pro fight this? Because they want to fight everything. But actually, it might be wiser just for... No, Illidan is going to initiate once again, but Bulba has a haste rune, as here comes a Mantis Whip being used already, and that means an entangle, that means it goes backward, that means Illidan is one dead MFer. As once again, Illidan, why are you being so aggressive? I mean, obviously he didn't anticipate the haste rune, but still. At the very least, it might just be only Illidan who's gonna die. One entangle. Oh, the Basher! Or sorry, the MKB being finished by TC. Gonna disrupt the teleport and kill the Keeper of the Light as well. And man, Illidan is pretty much throwing the game for his team. He is making so many mistakes. And VP, they may be uber aggressive Russians, but the Americans... Complexity is sort of known for being a bit more team fight oriented, a bit more late game oriented for American or Western team. Or at least that's what they are known for in Complexity, playing super carefully and just sort of fighting out with 5 people, waiting for their team to make a mistake. And boy, Virtus.Pro are just handing it to them on a silver platter. And that's going to mean a tier 2, and it might even open up an avenue for the racks being taken by Liquid. They want to try to take the racks. Korok, does he have the Aegis still? He does still have the Aegis. He's going to have the BKB up as well, so Korok might finally be able to actually do something in this game. Meanwhile, NS going to charge in confidently, trying to pick off somebody, trying to kill off IX. Like, these glimpses have just been so good by IX. Like, beautiful recognition. And just the warding, the vision, allowing him to glimpse back people. And pretty much Illidan, just constantly, time and time again, really just securing the fate of Illidan in these team fights. Ghost Scepter being picked up by Fluff, so Illidan can't initiate on him. They might just have to blow a Hex on Fluff, but again, they have another avenue to deal with the AM without BKB in the form of the Static Storm, in the form of Entangles now, because Bear... Lone Druid TC getting super powerful at this stage. Again, MKB, AC, Radiance all fished on TC. And the question is, what will he make next? Is it going to be a zip forward by Korok trying to find off an AM? And looks like he's going to say, screw BKB, I have an Aegis, going to go back into Hex. So, man, Korok just having a lot of trouble deciding on what he wants to make. Maybe that was his plan all along, just get a bit of extra HP saying, alright, I'm not going to really contribute much in this game either. Just going to be pretty much bait for that Mana Void. Meanwhile, Illidan still about 1k away from that BKB, but the split push constantly forcing Liquid to delay their own push. And this is the power of AM, as the Roshan Aegis is going to time out in about 40 seconds or so.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Or maybe a bit longer. And meanwhile, if Illidan doesn't pick up a BKB here, I'm just giving up hope for VP. If he just goes back into Butterfly. And considering that he has not picked up the Butterfly, even though he has enough money, is a good sign. But still. Goal graph now starting to spiral back to even. And experience graph slightly in favor of Team Liquid. Again, I do believe that Virtus.Pro do have the better late game, but they're making so many mistakes, and Liquid are just playing super well that I don't know. It might have to be at the 50-minute mark where Virtus.Pro can seal the deal with their late game. as Storm Spirit picks up a Hex. And if Illidan doesn't pick up a BKB now, he's done. As there are 2 Hexes on there. Virtus.Pro Santa managed to get the Shadow Walk off before the Hex really disabled that invisibility. So nice escape there. Meanwhile, Illidan trying to farm up as much as possible. So close to that BKB. If you get a butterfly, I'm just gonna rage super hard at Virtus.Pro. And looks like Liquid are like, this is our best chance. We may not have the Aegis anymore, but the creepy equilibrium is totally in our favor. We're gonna push in, try to end the game on the bottom lane. Or at least try to get a Rax and try to get some map control, but the Aegis has timed out again. Is Brewmaster level 16? No, Fluff's still a little bit away from that level 16. Wants to have that short cooldown and the increased duration on his spirits. But still, now is as good a time as ever, because otherwise a split push by Virtus.Pro will just be too much. And Illidan went for Butterfly GG. Like, it's GG. He's just gonna get stunned in place. I mean, this is just such ridiculous play by Illidan. Such ridiculousness by Virtus.Pro. But here comes Santa, or Tame Out Loud, blinking by Illidan, trying to focus on IX-Mech. Can they kill off IX-Mech? Looks like IX-Mech is taking bunch of damage, does manage to get Stag Storm, and Illidan is going to get silenced and stunned placed by the Entangles, and Illidan doesn't have buyback. And this is GG. I am very disappointed by Virtus.Pro. Not only by Virtus.Pro, just by Illidan. As I think this is like the first game where I've seen him play this bad. And that might just be the game for Team Liquid. Team Liquid just doing what they do best, which is capitalizing on the enemy team's mistakes and punishing the heck out of you, making 2 racks. And might mean a Mega Rax, considering Illidan doesn't have buyback, and there's really nothing that can stop TC at this point. TC just going down that Panda Bear. He is angry as heck. And that's going to be Mega Creeps. In just a matter of moments, that Lone Druid with the AC, the double bear, the Panda and Panda action, Panda on Panda on Panda action, if this is Dota 1, the triple Panda action, seals the deal for Team Liquid, and they are going to even up their Raidcall Dota 2 League record at 3-3. Meanwhile, Virtus.Pro going to fall to 1-3, and Virtus.Pro, they're going to have a sit-down with Illidan, because he played so bad, it's not even funny. But Liquid getting some much-deserved revenge, and VP's just like, alright, whatever, we still have some more time in the Raidcall Dota 2 League, and we're in the winner's bracket of the Defense 3, meanwhile you guys are not. But still, Virtus.Pro gonna fall to the Americans, and finally Team Liquid gonna get some momentum, beating a well-known team in the form of Virtus.Pro. We'll see if they can keep up the momentum, as Team Liquid fan favorites by many people in the Dota 2 and by the StarCraft 2 community, just for having that Team Liquid name. But still, they should be very proud of their victory, but still, they can't be too content with it. They're gonna have to come back stronger, and yeah, hopefully they will continue to do well. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Keep supporting, and I'll be back with my commentaries very, very soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.